Greetings from Auntie Sue. Hello everyone. We will create short writings using Aesop's fables. Everyone is creative, but we should draw our creativity from within ourselves. Let's write an extended story of fairy tales or short stories every day, and awaken your fabulous creativity within you. Now boys and girls, parents and friends, and are we sitting comfortably? We are going to be reading the classic Aesop's fable, The Crow and the Pitcher. Let's read along with Auntie Sue. Before we start, if you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button if you think this video is helpful. If you've done so already, I thank you and give my word that I will do my best to bring you the best thought-provoking questions as much as I can, and unexpected story endings at my best in order to help you practice and develop your creativity. Thank you for liking my videos. The Crow and the Pitcher, episode 21225. A crow perishing with thirst saw a pitcher, and hoping to find water, flew to it with delight as she found a pitcher with some water in it. When she reached it, she discovered to her grief that it contained so little water that she could not possibly get at it. She tried everything she could think of to reach the water, but all her efforts were in vain. At last, she collected as many pebbles as she could carry and dropped them one by one with her beak into the pitcher, until she brought the water within her reach and thus was enabled to quench her thirst. Why would dropping pebbles in the water help the situation? Would this always work no matter how little water that was? In the story, why did the crow use the pebbles? What else could the crow use if there is no pebble within her reach? Under what circumstances can the pebbles, which are usually worthless, be viewed more valuable or at least as valuable as water? Think of these questions to extend the story of your own. You may want to pause the video. Let's present your story. Are you ready to compare yours with Auntie Sue's? Here we go. The Crow and the Pitcher, extended story. A crow perishing with thirst saw a pitcher, and hoping to find water, flew to it with delight as she found a pitcher with some water in it. When she reached it, she discovered to her grief that it contained so little water that she could not possibly get at it. She tried everything she could think of to reach the water, but all her efforts were in vain. At last, she collected as many pebbles as she could carry and dropped them one by one with her beak into the pitcher, until she brought the water within her reach and thus was enabled to quench her thirst. Being a particularly hot, dry summer, little rain had fallen. So many of the drinking containers were depressingly low with water, and so many poor birds were in desperate need of water. An ostrich, being especially large, found itself in a poor state. Suddenly seeing the crow actively collecting small dark pebbles and continuously dropping them into her pitcher gave the ostrich an idea. Why don't I collect small dark stones into my own pitcher? So, with great enthusiasm, the ostrich set about his task, fully expecting to be drinking refreshing water in no time. Very quickly, the ostrich had a considerable mound of available dark solids and proceeded to drop these one by one into his pitcher. Unfortunately, most of the dark solids were made of dried solid earth, and as soon as hit the water in the pitcher, they dissolved and turned the water into a thick, undrinkable mud. The moral of the story is that necessity is the mother of invention. Does invention require creativity? Creativity starts with copying, which is an essential beginning, but copying without understanding is very dangerous. Extreme care must be taken in order to connect this initial copying into a certain product. In your opinion, Is mimicry an acceptable form of invention? Does copying the actions of successful person always result in success, whether, for example, it is business, finance, investment, or in life? Are there any circumstances where the lowest member of society could be considered as important, as essential, or as necessary as the most revered member of society? These are some questions that you can think of. What questions would you like to add? This is an excellent time to think and ask yourself. What questions would you like to ask? Please leave your questions in the comments below. Ask your questions to parents and friends. Share your thoughts and combine ideas with them. Collaborate and then record your thoughts. Whilst collaborating, were you asked any good questions? Reflect your ideas in your writing journal, including new key words used in your story. Don't forget, if there are any words that you don't know, please pause the video and check their meanings with an online dictionary. Auntie Sue believes that your creativity has been expanded a bit more today. Creating something from nothing requires a lot of energy and time. Create your story. Read along with Auntie Sue. See you next time. Bye.